Welcome to the Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by Thrive Fantasy. Here's your host, Casey Bubba and Scott Bogman.
You know, we've only done a few of these shows so far, but that Bogman is one of the greatest things. It's like, Adrian, I absolutely freaking love it. But you guys are listening live, or if you're watching, you could be listening live. You're probably not listening live, probably listening afterwards to the Pre-Snap Podcast over here by LineStar Sports, getting your NFL action for you. We do a recap show that drops on Tuesdays, a picks and bets show that drops for you on Thursdays, and a weekly main slate DFS preview that drops for you guys on Friday. So make sure you check all that stuff out. You can subscribe to it in all of your listening platforms, or you can watch it on the LineStar YouTube channel. You can find myself on Twitter at BDentric. You can find my co-host as always on Twitter at Bogman Sports. Scott, how we doing, man?
I'm doing good. Look, week one is in the past. I want to do the Mark McGuire bit. We're not here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about the future. And Week two is going to be a lot better. I mean, you just learned so much week one. You know, it's a learning curve for everybody. And we're moving on to week two. Let's roll.
Yeah, it was a very interesting week to say the least. But before we roll on to week two, I have to let everybody know that this wonderful podcast, the Pre-Snap Podcast, is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. It is a great way to play prop betting for your weekly kind of DFS action in a roundabout way. It's a cool site. They do all kinds of different sports, including your video game nuts out there. It has a little bit of everything, but they have it's 20 picks, 20 prop bets in a pool, and you pick the over-under on 10 of them. And there's different weights or points given to each prop bet. So you want to get the most correct answers and the most points. And there's rankings because there's X amount of players in each tournament. And there's guaranteed prize pools. This week, the week two $20 entry has a $50,000 prize pool guaranteed up top. So you got to go check that out. And if you're new to Thrive, make sure you use the promo code LineStar, LINESTAR, to get a free first-time deposit bonus match up to $100. And to make it even sweeter, you get 2 free months of LineStar Premium included in that deal. So go check out Thrive Fantasy. It's in your app store, thrivefantasy.com. Create an account, use promo code LineStar, LINESTAR, and you'll be good to go. We'll give you some of our picks for the $20, $50,000 guaranteed tournament that we were talking about at the end of this show. All right, business done. Week two, bounce back city, baby. We got to start getting like props and stuff, like hammer, all this kind of stuff, because it like make it really fun. But week two,
there's a prop in here. This game I love. So
Saquon under 12 yards or what? No, kidding.
Yeah, Daniel Jones over half an interception. Let's go.
That's a good one. That's a very good one. He's speaking of Thursday Night Football. New York Giants at the Washington Football Team. Washington is -3 over under 40.5. Bogman, what are you seeing in this one?
I mean, the Giants looked terrible. Well, Washington lost, right? And Washington is doing some frustrating things, and they have a new quarterback, right? So Taylor Heineke taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick with the hip injury here. But Heineke has a little experience. So it's not like he's coming in dry, doesn't know anything, all of that stuff. And I think the real match that I like here is the Washington defensive line against that god-awful Giants offensive line. So the Chase Young and Montez Sweat against those two tackles in New York, I think that is going to be the match to exploit here. I think Daniel Jones is going to be wearing Montez Sweat because they're probably going to be doubling Chase Young most of the game. This is a good secondary. So if Washington does get up, it's going to be hard for Danny Dimes to pass to catch up and all that good stuff. So I got Washington in this game. I like the under here as well. I think both these teams are going to struggle to score. We saw New York do that last week. We also saw Washington do that last week against a good Chargers defense. So the under is my favorite bet here, but I will also take Washington and the under.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with Heineke to me. Like, he's obviously not like the best quarterback in football, but he nearly beat Tampa Bay in the playoffs last year. Like, the dude, he's got experience. I'll give him that much. And he can run and do a lot of cool things like Fitz can with his legs also. So, and you mentioned that the defensive line is going to just be up Daniel Jones' rear end the entire time. It's going to be pretty impressive. So I'm with you. Give me Washington -3 on this one. I like the under as well. I think a lot of tick going to be taking place. A lot of bad turnovers to kind of keep the ball out of the end zone at times. Give me Washington, the under. And I don't know if these prop bets are on Thrive Fantasy, but I know there's a prop bet for Heineke rushing yards is around 19.5 or 20. Take the over in that one.
Take that, yeah.
And also Antonio Gibson's over about 19 to 20 receiving yards. Take the over in that one too.
I mean, it was 9 last week, so they gave him 10 more. I mean, Duke could get that on one pass. So
yeah, exactly. So those are two I like quite a bit. If you don't want to take the spreads or the over-unders, there's a couple nice prop bets out there on this game. Denver at Jacksonville as we head into the Sunday action here. Denver -6 on the road against Jacksonville, who just got embarrassed by the Houston Texans of all football teams. And the over-under is 45.5 on this one. Bogman, what are you liking on this game?
All right. So in this game, the over-under, I'm not so sure about, but I really like Denver here. Let's just recap what happened last week, like you mentioned. The Houston Texans, who everyone thought was going to be the worst team, maybe go 0-17 and possibly be the first 0-17 team in NFL history because it's the first year we have 17 games, put up 449 total yards, 289 passing yards, 160 rushing yards. They only allowed 1 sack. They threw no interceptions. So what is Jacksonville going to do? How are they? Teddy Bridgewater, I do not like, and I love him in fantasy this week because they put no pressure. Josh Allen had 1 sack. I think him and Miles Jack are your 2 good defensive players here. I think CJ Henderson could be good if you got some pressure on the QB every once in a while. But I think this is a run it down their throat, sling it to Cortland Sutton and Noah Fant. I think this is going to be all Denver all day. So give me Denver. I'll take the over because I think, Denver's a little rusty too. I think Trevor Lawrence can put a little something together, but I'm much more confident in Denver than I am on the over-under in this game.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's like, do they learn it all from their mistakes? I don't think so because Urban Meyer's been fielding questions about USC all week.
Right.
So that's been, you can tell where the focus is on that one. I actually wouldn't have been shocked if he said, yeah, I'm out. See ya. That was fun.
One game.
I have chest pains. I got to go. I figured we would have saw something like that, but this is a weird one because I hate laying 6 on the road with a team like Denver of all teams. And it's like, feels like it's almost overreaction because we were all over Jacksonville last week, but it was that bad. Not disagreeing with anything you had to say. I'm going to take Denver because I think if anything, there's going to be some turnovers there. I'm scared about the back door because we did see as the game went on, I know it's probably cover 2 defenses and everything, but Lawrence started making passes downfield. He had some big games from Jones and company, but I'll take Denver in the over with you because I think there will be some garbage time production that kind of pushes it over the edge. Let's go with like 31-20 type situation here. Houston at Cleveland. Cleveland -12.5 against the team that just beat down the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, where is the respect in this game? Over under 47.5. What are you liking on this one?
I mean, well, Houston, gave up 395 yards to Jacksonville. Only 76 passing, but like you said, 319 in that second half. I don't have any confidence in the Texans. I hate a big spread like this. I tend to stay away from these in both the NFL and college because, you can dominate a team and win by 10 in the NFL. So, but I got to take Cleveland here. I know they're pissed about losing to Kansas City last week. The over-under is a little more tricky to me. I think I like the under 47.5. I just don't know how many points the Texans are going to put up. I could see this being like even if it's a 35-10 game, you're still wearing the under right there. So give me Houston, give me the under here.
It's going to be a weird game because Cleveland's going to win.
Excuse me.
Cleveland's going to win. Now, I'm not worried about that one bit. It's just how fast they get out the gates, how much because no OBJ. I think it's going to be a ton of Chubb, ton of Hunt. They're just going to run the ball down their throat. I think throw it when they need to type situation. Kind of give Baker a breather after last game. I got Houston covering because I think Ty God is at least good enough to keep them in it. Like we saw last week, we've seen it in his whole career. He's not as bad as people make him out to be. So give me Houston plus 12.5 on the road and give me the under as well. I think it's just an ugly, like an AFC North type game with the South team playing them. And Cleveland wins comfortably, but it's not by a blowout. Buffalo at Miami. Buffalo -3.5 on the road at my Dolphins after getting embarrassed at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Over under 47.5. Does Buffalo get the big bounce back everyone's already saying they're going to?
I'm running away from this game personally. Not going to put any of my hard-earned dollars on either one of these teams because I don't like what I saw from either offense here. I mean, Buffalo was definitely not in stride against Pittsburgh. The offensive line looked pedestrian, although Pittsburgh played really good defense in that game. So I hate that Miami's at home because I want to take Buffalo to bounce back, but this is a big rivalry game. So this is why I'm kind of steering clear of this one. I'm going to take the under here. And I'm going to take that with a little more confidence because I don't know that either one of these offenses is clicking. Now, I think these are both dangerous offenses. So once again, I'd probably stay away from that as well, but I'll take the under with a little more confidence. And I'm going to take Buffalo. I just think if I'm picking one team to get back on track here, it is going to be the Bills with Josh Allen.
Yeah, this is a tough one for me. My homer hat and everything else. I would not put money on this game, period. If kind of what Bogman said, this is just one of those games where I can see a million scenarios taking place. One thing I'll say is Josh Allen has owned the Dolphins, owned them. Like he makes them look like Swiss cheese out there. I'm going to go Buffalo in this game. I think they get the bounce back situation there, and I'm going to go the under because I think both teams grinded out. It's a lot. The Dolphins are going to play a lot of under games this year. I'm not confident in either one of those picks. I'm more confident in the under than I am with Buffalo. Because like the Dolphins could do just enough to lose by like 3 or even squeak out the dub at home. But give me Buffalo, give me the under, and just don't bet this game. Los Angeles Rams at the Indianapolis Colts. Rams minus 3.5, over under 49. The Rams looked phenomenal on Sunday night against the Bears. The Colts looked pedestrian at home against Seattle. What do you think happens in this one?
I mean, I don't know why this game, public money is 50-50 on either one of these teams. I don't get that at all. I think the Rams are a Super Bowl contender, and I like the Colts. I do think they're going to get better this year. They have a strong offensive line, a strong defense. Carson Wentz, I think, is a step up from, an almost dead Phillip Rivers from last year. I love Jonathan Taylor. They are not clicking. I thought maybe because Carson Wentz was coming in with some familiarity with Frank Reich that they're going to make it happen week 1 against Seattle. Seattle's defense is still not great, but they could not make it happen at all. I don't think 1 week is going to change that. So I got the Rams in a walk in this one. 49 is tough. I think this is another game I'm just going to stick to the under on. I think the Rams play good defense. I don't think the Colts are quite there yet. So I will take the Rams and I'll go with the under here.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite bets of the week, the Rams. Like this team is legit. We saw them back up to it was only 1 week, but they're back to first in the NFL in pace, like they were early on. That they kind of the last couple of years with Goff it slowed down on. With McVay, they're back to first in pace. They were just clicking on all cylinders. Stafford got to show that he is a phenomenal quarterback. He's just not wearing those Detroit colors to bring him down. So he's going to have a huge season. This Colts team, I do agree, they're going to get better as the season goes on once they get gelling. And I still think they're a playoff team. It just ain't it this week. I'm going to take the over, though. I'm going to take the over in this game because I think the Rams could easily put up 30-plus themselves. Their offense is that good right now. They're running so many plays. So give me the Rams, give me the over, and give me all of the people telling me I'm crazy. San Francisco at the Philadelphia Eagles in this one. Niners on the road, 3.5-point favorites, over under 49.5. No Mostert, no more. What do you like in this game?
I mean, this is this game isn't as hard as the other ones, but this is still kind of a confusing one because I think you have two scenarios, and it's going to swing big one way or the other. It's either Jalen Hurts carves up this secondary because it's banged up. I mean, they're signing dudes off the street in San Francisco. They look terrible against Jared Goff and the Lions in the second half of that game. They give up a lot of yards. Or is, Philadelphia had to not deal with any pass rush last week at all. And San Francisco is going to beat you into the ground with that pass rush. So I'm going to lean on the side of defense for the Niners in this game. But I think this could be a scenario that looks like last week where the Niners get up and then, you're putting pressure on the Eagles to pass. So the Eagles score some points coming back. I like that this line is only 3.5 for the Niners because they did look bad in the second half last week. But I'm also going to take the over in this game. So give me the Niners and give me the over.
Yeah, this is a really, really tricky one because can Hurts be as efficient with his legs and his arm as he was last week's the big question. Like you mentioned, the secondary of the Niners is beat up to all get up. Is it going to be Sermon? Is it going to be Mitchell? Is it going to be Hasty? That's a lot of questions there. Either way, they should be fine against that Eagles defense. I hate taking all these road favorites. I really do. I'm going to take the Niners as well in this game because they are the much better football team. They let Detroit in. I don't see that happening again this week. But give me the under in this game. I think both teams kind of wear it down. So give me the Niners. Give me the under on the road, this early game on the East Coast. Cincinnati at Chicago. Chicago -1.5 at home, over under 45.5. Chicago got beat down by the Rams. I think a lot of teams might get beat down by the Rams this year, so grain of salt that one. But Andy Dalton so far is still under center, so got that going for you. What do you like in this game?
Nothing. I hate the Bengals. I hate that they beat Minnesota last week. I think the Bears got nothing on offense with Andy Dalton right now, so it's hard to pick this one. But look, let's go revenge game narrative, right? Let's go Andy Dalton at home against these Bengals. I'm going to take him. I'm going to take Chicago. I'm going to lay the points. I'm also going to go with the over. I think that, look, the Bengals have got to put some pressure on Dalton. Otherwise, he can sit back and pick them apart. So they can definitely put pressure, but they didn't get to Kirk Cousins a lot last week. So I'm going to stick with Chicago. I'm going to go with the over in this game. Not my favorite game, but I gotta roll with the Bears. I think this could be a big Khalil Mack game.
Big Allen Robinson game too. Big bounce back for Allen Robinson after last weekend's not so great game, which will happen from time to time. But still, give me Cincinnati in this game. I just can't do it. Andy Dalton, I can't do it. So give me Cincinnati. Give me the over in this one. I think it will be a firefight back and forth, but Cincinnati squeaks it out.
What if I told you that Justin Fields was taking the ball in the second half?
Give me the Bears.
Yeah, okay. I think that could happen, but I mean,
it definitely could. Yeah,
Dalton would have to look real bad. Or did you say over under? I'm sorry.
Give me the over in this one. I like the over much more than the spread in this game. So okay. I think both teams just kind of let stuff happen. So that'll be interesting. Las Vegas Raiders at your Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh -5.5 off that big W. Both these teams off of big W's.
Yeah.
Over under 47. Like Pittsburgh should almost give them a courtesy touchdown for helping them out last week, right?
No, not gonna happen. Look, this game to me, I don't know. Do you see that 93% of the money is on the over? How? I don't understand this. The Steelers defense just crushed Buffalo. Buffalo's a much better offense than the Raiders are, and Ben Roethlisberger was the lowest rated quarterback on PFF. Yep. He looked like garbage. So I'm way more confident in the under in this game than anything else. I don't know why so much money's on the over. It must be because the Raiders were on national TV and they scored a bunch of points at the end of that game, but they didn't run very well. So I don't understand that at all. So give me Pittsburgh at home with the strong defense. I see this as like a 24-10 game or 24-17, something like that.
This feels to me a lot like that that Washington Chargers game last week, where it's like, or maybe the Bills Steelers game was like 23-17, just because it's ugly like that. And the Raiders, they're not horrible. They're not a good team. They're not horrible. I think they can hang around just enough. So give me the Raiders on the road here at +5.5. I'll take the points in this game, but give me the under as well. I think there's going to be some dumb turnovers in this game. It's going to be sloppy because you got to remember Pittsburgh scored one of their touchdowns on a blocked punt. Like, this is how bad this game was. So.
Pittsburgh has lost to Terrell Pryor against the Raiders, to Mike Glennon on the Raiders. Like, they love to lose to the Raiders with their bad quarterback. So now that they have their franchise quarterback, I think they'll beat them.
Yeah, I think very, very possible. We'll wait and see on that one. New England at the New York Jets, a little AFC East battle in the Northeast up there. New England -4 on the road. Mac Jones looked good in that game, over under 42.5. What do you like in here? Are you going to join the rest of the world that's on New England?
I mean, this line seems too good to be true. You know what I mean? What do they know that we don't? That's kind of how I feel about this one. Because the Jets beat the spread last week. It was 5.5, and they lost by 5, right? But I don't know, man. Belichick schemes well. You got a rookie quarterback in his first home start ever in Zach Wilson. I mean, Mac Jones in his first road start. I get it. It's rookie on rookie action here, but Mac Jones just doesn't give an S. He does not care. He is the honey badger on offense. He's going to come in with some swagger. I think they're going to pass all over the Jets because that secondary is rough right now. And I got New England. 42.5 is so low. Two rookie quarterbacks, though.
How much did the Jets score is the question.
Yeah, I'll take the over here. Let's just say garbage time. A couple slip through. So give me the Pats and the over.
Yeah, one thing he said there's Belichick versus a rookie. We know how well he does versus rookie quarterbacks. He eats them for lunch, dinner. He's like Shooter McGavin, but you don't have to ask. You eat pizzas of ass for breakfast. It's what he does with rookie quarterbacks. So I like New England on this one too. It sucks because so many people are on them. I'm gonna take the under though. I think it's just like New England does their thing, but they'll eat clock up too. Damian Harris ran it a ton last week. So I see them doing the same thing because they're not going to need to force the issue. Mac will do his thing as well, but New England, give me the under in this one. Halfway through this slate of action on your week 2, make sure you guys follow LineStar on Twitter at LineStar app and at LineStar NFL for all the great content there, and download the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. Check out the LineStar YouTube channel. Give the old subscribe and share situation there. Give us a rate and review on iTunes. It would help us out a ton. It's a great way to help a free podcast out. That's all I'd say. A couple minutes out of your time, a couple seconds out of your time would go a long, long ways. New Orleans at Carolina. New Orleans -3 on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Over under 44.5. Who do you like in this game?
No one really, but I'm going to take the Saints. I think they look strong against a good Packers team last week. Carolina looked good, but they did play the Jets. And I think if I'm just looking at roster strength here, the Saints are the better team. I know the money is on Carolina right now. The money's on the over as well. I think I'll chase the over too. Winston looked good, man. 5 touchdowns against Green Bay. Green Bay's secondary is good, but they kind of punched out about halfway through that game. Yeah. So the over is a little more dicey to me, but I do think the Saints have the better roster here still. So give me New Orleans and the over.
Saints do have the better roster coming off a big win against Green Bay. Carolina should have scored even more points against the Jets. I'll take Carolina in this one. I like what Darnold's doing there. I think we talked about some of the receiving options that are pretty good, and McCaffrey is the best player in football again. So give me Carolina, give me the over. Should be a fun NFC South game, which we usually see tons of points all the time. Minnesota at Arizona. Arizona -3.5. They looked great. Kyler Murray looked great. Over under 50.5. I think we're going to be on the same page. Yep, we are on the same page on this one.
This is the Cardinals in the over here. I mean, Look, they look so strong against Tennessee. Tennessee's defense isn't great, but they're good enough to not let up that many points. So I think that this is kind of the same stuff here. I don't think Chandler Jones is going to get 5 sacks again. And I do think that this secondary can get scored on. Budda Baker is a great safety, but he is one player in that secondary. So, you have Jefferson and Thielen here. I think both sides are going to light it up. More confident probably in the over 50.5 than I am the Cardinals, but I'm also fairly confident in the Cards. So give me Arizona and give me the over here.
Yep. This is, I said it last week. I said it on the recap show. Before Kyler got hurt, QB1, the team was covering games. They were scoring points at will. We saw it in week 1. I don't see that ending anytime soon. It's going to be Arizona throwing it all over them, mixing in some timely runs with that Kingsbury offense, and the over is going to be beautiful. So, yeah, Arizona over on that one. I like that Arizona a lot, actually. I think they won by at least a touchdown, so should be a fun one there. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay -11.5 at home, over under 52. Atlanta looked horrible. Tampa Bay got the job done. Do you take these points at home?
No, I do not. Look, this is you getting Tampa Bay on extra rest against one of the, I'm going to say maybe one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. I mean, Matt Ryan just looked shook last week. That offensive line did not protect him at all whatsoever. And now you're going to put that patchwork O-line up against Nakamsu, Vita Vea, JPP, Shaq Barrett, Devin White, Levante David, Antoine Winfield. Like, this defense is stacked for Tampa Bay. So I'm going to take Tampa Bay. I think I'm going to roll with the under here. Look, Atlanta can put up some points, but I think that you're giving this Tampa Bay defense extra rest against Atlanta. And maybe Brady gets most of it against Swiss cheese defense that the Falcons have here, but I'm going to take Tampa Bay and the under.
Over under 6.5 carries for Ronald Jones this week, who they said started.
Over. You got to get it. You got to get him confidence. I think this is a good spot to do it.
It's a great spot to do it. A phenomenal spot to do it. And Atlanta covers the +11.5. They will cover that one. Divisional game, road. I can't do it in the NFL. I can't do it. It'll happen a couple times throughout the year, but I just can't do it. So give me Atlanta +11.5 in this one. and give me the over. I think they get their offense going. It's a kind of a bit of a late shootout. Like, let's go 35-28 type thing. Lots of fun there. Dallas at the Los Angeles Chargers. I am pumped for this game. Chargers -3, over under 55. What do you like here?
For this game, all right. So you're giving Dallas a little extra rest, but they did just lose to Marcus Lawrence for like 2 months today. That is a brutal blow on their defense. I think I'm going to take the Chargers at home in this one. I don't have a ton of confidence here. I think I'm more confident in the under 55 because I think the Chargers can play a little defense. We did see them Dallas throw the ball 58 times. I think they try to get back and establish the run. I think that might be their downfall in this game. So I'm going to take the Chargers at home, and I'm going to take the under 55. I just think that's too many points.
Yeah, I love the Chargers -3. I'll take that one in a heartbeat. If they really try to let Zeke get going, it's going to kill them.
Bless you. He's allergic to Zeke.
Yeah, I'm allergic.
You're allergic to Ezekiel
Cowboys,
Elliott.
The Cowboys. Yeah, can't watch I can't do
fans.
it.
Right.
But I think I still like the over in this game. I think that they need to be smart enough. If they're throwing the ball like they can, they have enough weapons to still throw all over the Chargers, no matter how good their defense is. So give me Chargers. Give me the over in this one. I think Herbert and company have a huge week. Tennessee at Seattle. Seattle -5.5. Over under 54. Does Russ cook yet again?
I mean, how can he not? Look, I don't understand why so much money is on Tennessee and the under. They look god awful last week. So I think Vrabel's shenanigans might be wearing thin a little bit on this team. If not, Tennessee will go in and win a good game. But you got Seattle playing their first home game. That place is going to be loud. All those people in Seattle had to not go to that game, to that stadium all year last year. That place is going to be rocking. There's a little bit of rain possibly in this game too. I got the Seahawks in this game. I think 54 is probably too big of a number, so I'm going to take the under with the way this Titans offense looked last week, just completely out of sync. I think Julio could have a big game. I think AJ Brown could put up a big game, but it's because the Titans will be playing catch up. So give me Seattle, and I'll take the under.
Yeah, this is one where I'm going to keep my my tried and true with the Titans. I think they're actually a very good football team still, and I'll take the Titans +5.5, and I'll take the under as well. So I'm going to follow the sheep here, which is never a good thing. But I think they make some adjustments. They keep it close enough. They pound the rock with Henry. Remember what got you where you are. Keeps the game close. Hope for a couple mistakes. Give me Tennessee. Give me the under. Kansas City at Baltimore. KC -3.5. Over under 51.5. Sunday night football. Does Baltimore get embarrassed on back-to-back primetime games?
I saw a stat today on NFL Network that Lamar has lost back-to-back games twice in his career. So it's not something that the Ravens have a habit of doing. And they did barely lose this game in Vegas. But with that being said, Kansas City is a more complete team. The Baltimore defense let a couple guys get behind them. That run game was really screwy and weird. Like, I know Tyson Williams whiffed on a block, but how do you yank him out when he looked so good in the first half? So I'm going to take KC. I'm going to go over here too. I think I love this game for like prop bets too, for over on Lamar, passing, rushing. I think he's going to have to do pretty much everything in this game for them to get it done, like we saw him do in the second half, where he ran for so many yards and threw a touchdown to Marquise Brown and stuff like that. So I love the over here, and I guess I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah, if Baltimore has any chance of being in this game, Lamar has to play like the MVP Lamar, like the Madden cover Lamar. That's the only way this is going to work.
Post-dump Lamar.
Post-dump, yes, that's a good one. That's one of the legendary ones. Yeah, I'm going to pass on that one. Kansas City, though, I love them this week. Kansas City rolls in this game. Give me Kansas City -3.5. Give me the over. Patty Mahomes and company are going to do things. I say third time's the charm. This will be the third time that Baltimore loses back-to-back games under Mr. Lamar. So, yeah, KC over. Monday Night Football, we have an angry Aaron Rodgers at home against the Detroit Lions. Green Bay -11, over under 48. Green Bay might score 48 on their own.
Yeah, I mean, this is this is Aaron Rodgers, like you said, pissed off. It's even his coach said it was embarrassing. He didn't like that. Plus, I mean, just the best memes in the world. Am I right or am I right or am I right? I mean,
it's good. It's good.
I talked about this one with Joe earlier. The Aaron Rodgers looks like a guy that steals catalytic converters is probably my favorite one of those. There's a couple other good ones in there. But yeah, I mean, look, this is an Aaron Rodgers all-time bounce back game. So give me the Packers and give me the over on this one. They might do it themselves.
Yeah, prime time, Lambeau Field, which will be rocking as well, because the only time I believe they had fans last year was the playoff game, and it was all nurses and medical people, which they deserved it, no doubt in that.
Front line, right?
It was still only like 30%, like it wasn't full.
Sure,
this is going to be bananas. And so give me Green Bay. Like I didn't take any of the big spreads except this one. I said there's a few exceptions. This is one of them. This is like one of those like 17 to 21 point wins. So they just beat them down. And I will take the over because we've seen the garbage time from Detroit, and they'll get a chance in this game because they'll be down so much. So yes, Green Bay over for sure. That wraps up the week 2 bets and picks segment of the show. Real quick to remind everybody, we are brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Go check out Thrive Fantasy. If you're new to Thrive Fantasy, you can either download the app or just go to the website. Use promo code LineStar, LINESTAR, when you create your account to get a first-time deposit match up to $100. Plus, you get 2 free months of the LineStar Premium package, which is great because when you download the app, you get all the cool stuff and things that help you win your DFS weekly tournaments. All right, Bogman, let's go over a couple of these ones. I'll kind of cherry pick a few here. Darren Waller coming off that monster Sunday, over under 70.5 receiving yards.
I mean, they gave him 19 targets, and that was a career high for him. And I think that's just going to be the strategy for the Raiders in this season. So I'll go with the over on that one.
Yeah, both over and the under was 100 points each. So it's pretty much a pick 'em at that. Trevor Lawrence, you saw 3 picks, but I believe you saw 3 touchdowns last week as well. We mentioned that Denver-Jacksonville game. He'll get some garbage time chances. Over under 1.5 total passing touchdowns.
Passing touchdowns. Ugh. You know what? I picked the over in that game. We'll roll with the over on.
Yeah, the over is worth 85 points. The under is worth 115. So if you're feeling frisky, there you go. DJ Moore, over under half a receiving touchdown for Carolina in the Carolina-New Orleans game.
Look, I like the points. You're going to get 30 more points if you take the over, and I like DJ Moore, and Lattimore is out. So, give me DJ Moore to get that score.
If you're looking for a Justin Jefferson bounce back week in Arizona, we like a lot of passing in that game, Bogman. Over under 89.5 receiving yards, and the over gets you some more points in this one.
Easy over. Byron Murphy is not great. I know he rated high on PFF this week, but I'm not buying it. So give me my man Justin Jefferson to go ham today, this week. Okay, a couple more. You mentioned the Lamar props. It's basically a pick 'em. Over under 19.5 completions for Lamar Jackson. 19.5. Let's go over. I think they're going to have to play from behind in this game against Kansas City. And I think this is finally, we might be able to get to see Lamar in what they should be running way more shotgun with him and letting him pass out of it. So I like Lamar to complete more passes than that this week. And the last one I'll ask, because there's a total of 20 to go through, but one guy that I love playing time and time again, I saw a tweet about the amount of targets he's had in every game he's played with Mr. Herbert over there with the Chargers. Keenan Allen, over under 70.5 receiving yards. Overs 95 points. Unders 105. I'll take the over in this one. Let's go with the over against Dallas's defense. They just lost their best pass rusher. Gonna give Herbert a little bit of time. So I'll go with the over on that one as well. So lots of fun stuff here. We went over about maybe half of them, get a little less than half. So check all that fun stuff out over there at Thrive Fantasy using promo code LineStar to get you a first time deposit match up to $100 and 2 free months of the premium package. All right, everybody, picks and bets in the books for week 2. We'll be back to you guys on Friday with the Week 2 main slate DFS preview. Remember to rate and review the podcast on iTunes and check out the LineStar YouTube channel. But for now, check Bogman out on Twitter at Bogman Sports. I'm Matt Bedientrick. We'll see you guys next time. See ya.
Thanks for listening to Pre-Snap Podcast, presented by Thrive Fantasy. Please like, comment, subscribe, and rate for good karma in your fantasy football games.